Glass of some sort. I think it's opal. And yeah, when you get the nights here, you can surely shine it on here, and you can really see. It's better.
Where did you find it?
I was just over there, all along here. There's a volcano up there called Mount Curry. We're along the shore of St. John River, and the Lower River Valley of Fredericton.
Have you guys named the place? Have you named
it? Tent City.
So when I was living in Toronto in 2000, they had a place called Tent City, but it was actually made of shacks. Why?
I've been looking for love since I was born. I was caught in the eye of the storm. Far away, far away, far away, far away. Don't let your sorrow weigh you down. Far away, far away, far away, far away, far away from the eye of the storm.
This is some of the most valuable real estate in North America. And despite a continuing problem with homelessness in Toronto, development along the lakeshore continues at an unprecedented rate. And it stops here, a 24-acre plot of toxic landfill, where until a couple of years ago, a community of squatters had built a shantytown known as Tent City. After their eviction in 2002, nothing remains of Tent City except the stories of these rugged and often troubled people who now adjust to life in mainstream housing. In 2001, the homeless population in Toronto had outgrown the hostel system by several thousand. Ever resourceful, the homeless were now occupying places we had never imagined they could live.
We have another camp.
You know, this is a very interesting... I just need to get a shot of this. This is very cool. It's like a bamboo jungle in here.
Beavers have been at it.
What's that?
The beavers have been at it. That used to be my bedroom, right there. Used to be a house right there. And so did this. For our fireplace. You can see our fire brick right there. Where we built our fireplace. Used to be a good place at one time.
Yeah. See, they're going to do a studio for making films.
Yeah, another one.
On the waterfront where we are. It's going to cost them $150 million and employ 2,500 people. So I won't get a job. Not even as caretaker. He's not one. I had them all chasing me. I had one cop beside me here, right here, he's driving. As you get on that phone, you tell him back off. No cigarette or family jewels are going. So I got out of the car because the cop wanted to talk to me, the chief of police wanted to talk to me. I got out, he says, put your gun on top of the car. I says, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put my gun there if you take that gun out from your boot and put it up there. And one cop stuck his head up. That's how I knew there's another cop there. Other than that, I never knew. He's, you know, if we made a move, we're gone.
What were you doing?
I robbed this here bar. Because I changed. I don't know if I changed for the good or the worse.
First time I met Eddie, he has always talked about going to rehab, but he never has.
71, I got a murder beef, and then in 75, some guy was raping a kid, and I ended up stabbing him 41 times. I ended up with 17 and a half years. It doesn't mean that I'm right in what I did.
Right.
But that's the way it went. I like me better now than I did then. How's that? I'm more of a... I like people more, and I like me, so, you know.
Eddie is a friend, but a classic crackhead, loyal and caring when straight, and driven by an insatiable urge when high that compels him to do unsavory acts.
Ran into cocaine.
When are the best times to actually, find a loaded car?
Thursday, Friday night.
Why?
Anywhere between 8 and 10 o'clock, so people are going in for supper and they leave their stuff out in the car. Or, if it's a rainy night and they come home at night, they won't take their stuff out because it's raining and they don't want it to get wet. Just as long as the sharp edge touches the window's history.
I want to see this.
Yeah, that's the stuff we pulled down this morning. Yeah, we've got that this morning. because you can only get up so high. And I was walking along, see that bottom flat piece?
Yeah.
I was walking along there all the way
Seriously?
around. Oh yeah. Hanging on with one hand, walking along, pulling it off. Pulling it off.
Terry and Eddie often faced hazardous conditions to eke an existence from scrap. And in the time I've known them, they have never begged. It's amazing how hard these guys work to make $30 or $40 a day, and I sometimes think it wasn't about the money, but perhaps about keeping themselves otherwise occupied.
I did. Let's see what happened, man. Are you cut?
No, just smack my elbow. Right, because that's heavy copper in there.
In the winter of 2002, while homeless people died on the streets of Toronto or suffered the iniquities of an overburdened hostile system, folks in Tent City fared well. They were warm. They helped each other out.
One night my dad caught me coming back in my window. He was sitting in my room. Did I ever fucking get a beating? Oh my God. But it never helped. I did it over and over and over again all the time. Then I started doing drugs at an early age.
What kind of drug?
I started just doing pot at first, and then it just got heavier and heavier. And I got into cocaine and speed, and I started stealing more and doing a lot of crime, eh? Then I ended up selling drugs. I did 18 months for that. And if it comes to the point where they're gonna kick us out of here, I want to take my house with me. We've built it to be moved.
Pivotal moments happen in everyone's life, but for a tiny community, the special events of one person's life can greatly affect the whole.
Stop by just to say hi, to make an appearance. I sure as fuck ain't gonna help them. I don't believe in it.
I don't think it's about the church. I think it's just about them having a place to
make it look more like a community. Wait till the first kid's born down here.
When's that happening?
A few months.
Who's pregnant?
Shannon with Danny, and then Karen with me.
Before we stopped smoking, we didn't really care about this house.
I remember Shannon as one of the squeegee kids downtown. She looked frantic and crazed most of the time.
Smoking, we've been clean 4.5 months. I'm proud. I really am. But I'm still not on my own. Like, I'm in transitional housing. Last time I spoke to my father when I was pregnant with my son, I told him I was pregnant. He called me a fool and hung up the phone. That's the last time I spoke to him. Basically, my mother was never around. All I cared about was my next toke. That's all I cared about. When I squeegeed for my dope. I'd make 20 bucks and go get 20 piece. Make 20 bucks, go get 20 piece. Make 20. In 5 years, right now I want to go back to high school and finish my grade 12. I got 7 credits to finish, and then I want to go to college.
What do you want to study?
You know what? Childcare.
You get a chance to talk to them. That will be something to see them have a baby here.
Yeah, and then it becomes a community.
And then it's, you know.
Then they're really fucked, aren't the city? Then they have to help.
Or not. The last straw in the demise of Tent City was an errant report by the New York Times.
So tell me a little bit about this New York Times article and what that.
I don't know. I haven't even read it.
You read it though, didn't you?
No, I haven't. We just got it about like.
So why do you think they came here?
I told you why they came here. They
No, you
wanted to
didn't.
see how our fucking homelessness was going on in Toronto.
You turn around, you put a guy in an apartment, and he's a crackhead. You put him in an apartment. At the end of the month, when he gets his check, 95% of the crackheads aren't going to pay their rent.
Right. So then the problem isn't not having a home; it's crack or whatever they're hooked on.
No, because imagine if they give all of us here homes and they put us all together. Then we're gonna be slummed out.
So tell me what you think then.
You have to separate us. You got to take us and put it. If you're getting us a place to live away from everybody, everybody's gonna go individually in a little spot. You can't.
What was your worst memory?
The day they come down and kick me out.
Look into your crystal ball. Tell me if there's any light at all.
Basically, it's an empty lot. How much damage can a bunch of hippies do to an empty lot?
There was so much public outrage at the evictions that the City of Toronto introduced a rent supplement program for the residents of Tent City. And in short order, 105 people with long histories of drug abuse, incarceration, and life on the streets found themselves in mainstream housing.
Just tell them that shows you that all the stories you heard about people at Tent City, they're not all that bad. Look where they are right now. Here they are.
I guess you're saying they could be your neighbors.
That's right, and we are their neighbors. It's unbelievable.
What is?
So, whole complex. Look at the fields. You don't see this uptown, do you? Down Sugar and Dundas? Look at the grounds. Better than Moss Park.
What did you like about Tent City? Just because it was free?
No, the trees. It was nice and shady down there. The breeze, and you look out and you can see at nighttime, right? The lights and all that. Can't even see the CN Tower from here.
In fact, a success.
People are concerned about the idea that people who may have addictions are getting public money for rent. I would suggest to them that even if they morally think that people shouldn't drink and all the rest, that society is going to be better off if we look after people and we ensure that people have more and more stability.
Why I do it, not why other people do it. I smoke because it makes me not hurt, not feel, not care about nothing.
The stressors are so high that it's so unlikely, so that what they're saying is basically they're giving this person either a death sentence, and they're giving the rest of us a lot of trouble and expense, putting people into prisons and hospitals and all the rest when people are so hurt in the street.
I feel fabulous. I mean, I'm very, compared to the last time you saw me, Eric, don't I look better and look happier than I did down there?
Is that all we want from a human being, is whether they're an addict or they're not? Start to remove the pain and you'll start to remove a lot of the serious addictions. And will there always be addictions? I don't know. There'll always be patterns, ways in which people deal with things. Things can be a lot better. And I would suggest we all get together and make things a lot better for people.
I make sure my house is clean, my laundry's done, I pay my bills, my food is bought every month, and I have 2 kitties. They're hiding somewhere. I have 2 cats, very, very well behaved cats. Yeah, I got fish too. Once in a while, like I'm seeing a drug counselor right now, and it's only maybe once or twice a month now that I smoke, right? I don't think I will totally be cured of being a crackhead. And it's scary to think that way, but it's true. I don't have to hook anymore. I don't have to beg for money anymore. And I'm happy. Like, I'm very happy to be where I'm at today because thanks to housing, here I am and I'm doing really, really well. And it looks really nice in here. Very proud of myself because I've taken care of I've maintained my household, right? You know, like getting housing is one thing. Maintaining and keeping it is another thing. I am changing, but the change is slow. People don't understand like how difficult it is to try to stay clean.
Why do you think you still fall off, even though you've been...
Because I'm an addict.
In the winter that I was here, 40 people that were all struggling managed to, not always as functionally as we might hope, but a lot better than most people thought, gain some self-respect by building themselves their own places to live with the help of their friends. I think, and I believe, that if someone ponied up or allowed to lease the land, I believe that we could build something like Dignity Village in the US, where it's a green, sustainable village that was built by homeless people over the course of 5 years who had a vision and a dream that we could not have because we had no legal entitlement.
Hi Eric, my name is Brad Powell. I'm the chairman here at Dignity Village, and we're located in Portland, Oregon, and we're the only city-sanctioned homeless community in the world.
Why are you one of the only city-sanctioned homeless communities?
Well, basically we started out underneath the Fremont Bridge, and it was just a group of protesters that got tired of getting kicked out of the doorways by the police and herded like cattle, told they couldn't stay places, and they just got fed up with it, and they said, we are the public and this is public land, why can't we stay here? And the city of Portland kind of agreed that they had a right to live somewhere. There was no solution to the homeless problem. They found a loophole in the Oregon state law that said that we could have 2 emergency campgrounds per municipality or per city. The first rule is no violence to yourself or others. The second one is no theft. Those 2 we have 0 tolerance on. If you get in a fight, the first person to throw the punch it's an automatic ejection. We have some other rules that we go by. No drugs or alcohol within a 1-block area. So we say anywhere on Sunderland Road.
So no personal use in your own room or anything?
Well, we can't monitor that because we don't search at the gate. There's, people have rights, and that's one of their rights here in the United States of America, is privacy of your own home. Yeah, and I have PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome.
From?
Just being homeless or just from life. And I have a hard time, talking about Noah's Ark. It's
okay.
It's the guy's last page certificate, but I've called.
Well, my door has a flag on it. My wall has a flag on it. I got a flag here. I'm a pretty good. I'm a patriot. I don't believe that I'll go anywhere else and kill people for us. But damn sure if they're going to come here.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'll be the first one to pick up a rock and a stick and fight like a caveman. I don't care.
I can see you fighting like a caveman.
I tell everybody when they get here, they're like, "Oh, this is so great. This is so great." I said, "There will be a time that comes that you will regret and dread going out of the gate."
And do you feel that way?
Not anymore, but I did for a long time.
Because this became so...
This became everything, and that's the way the psychological part of it works.
And so you think in that process of it becoming everything, you become more whole yourself, and then you can go out again?
Yeah, it definitely fixes the way you think.
I'm still homeless.
But why? You have a house.
I'm technically homeless.
According to whom?
The city, the state, the federal government.
But what about in your state of mind?
Homelessness is a state of mind. The home is where the heart is, and so you're never without a home.
It should be adopted in other cities where the government should give people a chance to redeem themselves. It used to be you commit a crime, you pay just dues for it by community service, going to jail, prison, or whatever, and you can get back into the flow of society. We've become an unforgiving nation where we don't forgive easily. We hold people down from being progressive. And this is a way for people to get their self-esteem, their motivation, their scruples, and their principles back together into being somebody. Now, this is what happens when you know your constitutional rights. You can achieve this because nobody above their constitutional rights, and you can do that. But you have to do it and think of everybody, not just yourself and one individual, but everybody. And it should be done, and it can be done, and it will be done. Or this country and all countries like this is going to fail.
This weaving of the palm, pretty cool. As you can see, there's no shortage of the gospel here.
That's a bachelor pad, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a shame you got to move it.
I know, right?
Because this is like one of the. I've been looking at camps for about 14 years now, and this might be the primest location I've ever seen.
Besides that, if you get attacked, you got
you're safe.
Cover on 3 sides.
You didn't have kids or anything? Or?
I had 2 daughters. They're dead now, though.
What happened to them?
They got burnt in the fire. My wife was smoking crack cocaine. The place got caught in fire.
That's when you were working at the factory?
Yeah.
You're about 19 or so?
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Brian?
Yeah.
That's when you were working at the factory? Tell me. When you look at that, how does that make you feel when you look at that
To see me on there?
Well, not just to see that you, to see that you.
Well, it's, you know, there's some memories that I like to just forget, right? You know, I'm moving on in life. I'm the same way, and Sandra and Jeff, for all the years they've been stuck in with me, and through the hard times. Not really forgotten. Hey.
What does God mean to you?
Peace of mind. Peace of mind. Peace of mind.
How does that work out?
How does that work out? You have peace of mind.
I think there is room for tiny homes in the Maritimes, in our big cities. So they do exist everywhere as you go, and they're specifically in rural areas or places that are set a little bit out of the way. I think the issue that people are leery of is creating those community spaces, a tiny home community, and having it turn into maybe some of the low rental communities that that were constructed in the 80s, and then in turn, poverty breeds more poverty, and it's where that they feel they're creating a space that doesn't allow people to rise above or move out. A lot of people fight and are they speak very loudly and almost bully the communities and the cities to say these people should be allowed to sleep outside if they want to sleep outside. These people deserve more than sleeping rough and sleeping in a tent. They deserve a place to call their own that isn't a tent, that isn't a place where they don't feel safe or they can be affected by the elements. So a tiny home community, if that's what that means, then I can't see a reason not to build it, provided that it's done the right way. It's handled through an organization or a community organization that has ties to the city, that has ties to wraparound services in other areas, so that we're not just building a house, we're offering them supports and helping them through those.
You're suggesting that we do what places like Calgary just did with Homes for Heroes?
100%.
Yes, I lived in what became Tent City here in Moncton on Albert Street. And Chris and I had gone for a walk, and I said, I think we need to go home. And he just kind of stops. He's like, you're in Ontario, you are home. I'm like, oh no. We started something in the East Coast, and I need to go back. So we ended up coming back to Moncton and staying at a B&B here in the city. Well, that just went completely sour in the end. And as a result, we ended up at the cold shelter, which is at the old fire hall down on Assumption here in Moncton. In a way, that was a godsend, because inside those doors, I met some incredibly awesome people. One of the workers from Selva's clinic heard that I was down there, and she's like, "Is there anything that you need or anything?" I'm like, "There's something that I need today," and she's like, "Okay." I'm like, "I need garbage bags and rakes." And she's like, "Shannon, that isn't what I was referring to." I'm like, "Well, that's what I need today." And she's like, "Well, why?" I'm like, "Well, if I'm going to stay here, I need the city to not kick me out. And the way for me to do that right now is for me to clean up this plot of land that I plan on just occupying and monopolizing as my own for right now." And she's like, "All right." And then before we knew it, there was a dumpster and a backhoe and an excavator clearing the land, And the city of Moncton was, with bylaw, they had made some rules and regulations, and we had 24-hour security, and more people could come and pitch tents. And so I saw a vision of it. This was like definitely like a helping community tent. If a group of people were going, let's say, to Humanity Project or to any other soup kitchen to eat, those people who were going would always bring back food for those who weren't going or couldn't go. There was days with using crutches that I just couldn't go. It wasn't even a matter of not wanting to. It was a matter of fact that I couldn't. I was just too sore to go anywhere. And I was lucky enough that I was in a community where I did make some friends. And
so we just went for a drive and tried to find evidence of any of the camps, and there's nothing.
There's none.
They're completely swept away.
Yeah, I was there the day they closed it. And I always saw Tent City as being a step up from homelessness, where like I said, they might only be canvas walls, but they're your walls. So you have your belongings, your life is conducted inside those canvas walls, which already gives you the mindset that you have your own place. And so I always view Tent City as being like that transition from going from homelessness into having a home. I love tiny homes. They're so shabby chic. They are. And you can do so much with a small space. I don't know, it's kind of like a cupcake. You look at a cupcake, it's a lot more joyous to look at than a full cake. And I think to me, it's just the tiniest of it. It's individual, it's personal.
You get to eat the whole thing.
Right? And in a tiny home, it's your space. And if you are just one person, like we have condos, especially downtown Toronto, like $500,000 condos that aren't much bigger than a postage stamp. And people are paying $500,000 for that. I bet you might could build your whole tiny home community for less than $500,000. As it is now, Tent City in Moncton got shut down. And so you see all these other mini makeshift tent sites being popped up. And the same people who were coming so hard to help us out with that Tent City are now going all over the city. So whether it be social workers or whether it be garbage removal or whether it be the RCMP, all this manpower is still being utilized. So me being a past resident of Tent City and knowing some of the estimates that have been brought into the public, it makes me question that you're still putting out that kind of money. So why not invest that money into something good like a tiny home community? And it's phenomenal once you get on the streets and you start meeting people, how many trades you guys all have together. And as a group, you could build a house. A group of people on the street that I've met could build a house in probably less time than that shelter is taken to open.
Well, I've had a couple of brushes with death. It was a natural gas explosion, and there was people that did die. And a few years ago, I had about a 3,000-pound tree fall on me. I got neck injuries, back injuries, head injuries, jaw injuries. There's many different reasons people get homeless. Some are addiction problems, some are mental health, some are physical problems. There's many reasons, so it can happen to anybody. We grew up in a little place called Henderson. The original name of the town was Dead Creek. It wouldn't be as big as the 12 neighbors here. This guitar belonged to my father. I bought it for him, I think it was around 1974. It was used when we bought it. I raked leaves, shoveled snow, whatever I could, make a few dollars. My mom put in the rest. And then we bought it for Dad, and he played it for years and years. Stomp and Thomas played it. I came down here in '99, a little visit. Some people I knew down here loved it, and never went back really. I ended up leaving a relationship I was in, and I ended up staying in my car. Well, this is where I stayed when I was living in my car. Right here, it was, from summer right on through to the winter. My radiator broke in the car, and I had no heat. So I had a little buddy heater, and I had a 20-gallon thing of propane, and that's what I used to stay warm in it. It melted my dash. but it kept me warm. Met Marcel, we chatted, and he brought me a sandwich one cold winter day. We chatted about getting a place here, and here I am. I moved in here February 10th, I think it was, 2021. And the first 3 days I slept. Having a stable, place to live, I'm sure has made a big difference with my health.
This was from the fire?
Yeah, well, it was a natural gas explosion.
Yeah.
It leveled the house. They found pieces of the building 3 blocks away. It was an explosion, fire, the building was collapsing.
Yeah.
It was chaos. It was basically what it was.
And then you went in and pulled these kids out.
I was in it to start with, and I got my daughter out. I had custody of my children. And I brought my daughter out and brought my son out and give them to a police officer that was standing there. And I said to the officer, I says, I got to go back in there. There's a woman next door to me. She's got 6 kids. And he didn't want to let me go, but I kind of pushed him off and went back in, and I brought the woman and the 6 kids out as well. And then later I got the award for that. That's from the Proxy of Canada. I started working with Marcel, his company. He threw me over on the shop side of the building. Started building the floors and the walls and stuff, and then try to stay busy is my outlook on life. Just try to stay going. If I can lift it, it's 300 pounds and I can get it on my shoulder, I can probably lift it. That's just the way I am. That's me. My dad would have said, well, if you want your paycheck, you better get back to work. And then eventually I just went to them and said, I don't really think I need assistance anymore. I think, I'm doing quite well. I'm working every day. And they were all in agreement and happy for it and completely independent. And an added bonus, we get to know that we're helping somebody else. People are going to be not living under that bridge tonight or sleeping in that tent. They're going to be a home for them tomorrow. Fellow employees become community as well. They become your friends. Keep yourself busy, keep yourself active, keep your mind going. And I think you'll work through a lot of life's problems if you do that. I could just say this is a great place to live, great neighbors, great support systems here. This is a good thing, and we need more places like this. So when I'm out and I'm coming home, that's what I tell them, well, I'm going home.
Yeah, it's pretty much, it's all healed. Like, it was in my blood, it was in my bone and everything, but it's not in my bones no more. It was down here to almost to my elbow.
Yeah, we need harm reduction, don't we?
Yeah.
We need safe injection sites, and we need more needle exchanges.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, meth and snorting it and doing ice and stuff and different things.
How realistically is it for you to get off it if you want to get off it?
If you want to get off it, you will.
And do you really want to?
Oh yeah, I do. I do now, more than ever. I couldn't tell you if it's going to be a success or not, but I'll tell you, if I don't do it here soon, I'm just going to miss everything. It'll all pass me by.
Well, I'm glad I met you, and I'm glad you had that cool rock, because it was a really good opportunity for us. Let's see it again.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. I do.
And screen turns blue. Yeah, heat treated.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
I should.
Never get ahead by going back. If I could.